This week on the Royds Review Podcast, we're writing songs about Spirited Away. A lot of people may not know this, but this was Andy's feature film debut as the Stink Spirit.
Well, joke's on you, because I turned into a beautiful river spirit, didn't I, Robbie?
Yeah, because you're into those water sports, aren't you?
No, I'm a majestic creature.
Hello, and welcome to the Royds Review Podcast. I'm Rob.
And I'm Andy.
And we are back once again talking about 2001's Spirited Away. Andy, how are you on this day?
Wow, I'm feeling pretty whimsical and good. I really like this movie.
So did I.
Yeah, this is beauteous.
What a beautiful little movie. I was talking to friend of the show, Mark Ponte, and that's what I said to him. I said, what a beautiful little movie. And he goes, it really is.
Yeah. How about you, Robbie? How are you?
I'm doing really well. Had you seen Spirited Away before?
I had not. What about you?
Nope, this was my first time. This was my first time with any Studio Ghibli movie, which last week on the program, we sat there with the Google Translate asking it, hey, how do you pronounce this? And we were still unsure, so I think we're just going to go with Ghibli.
Sure, I'm fine with that. Yeah, this is also my first foray into a Ghibli. I already fucked it up, Robbie. My first foray into a Ghibli film, and it lived up to the hype, which is crazy because the hype is astronomical, Robbie.
I would 100% agree with that. Now I need to ask, which version did you watch? Did you watch the English version or the Japanese audio?
Well, I am an American, so I can't read.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so I watched the dub. What about you?
I watched both.
Whoa.
I've watched the English version twice because I watched it once at work, so I couldn't take notes, just so I could write my song. And then I watched it a second time at home. And then I thought, I want to watch the Japanese version because I want to see if I could catch any differences.
Yeah, like in its purest form,
Right, exactly.
Which would you say is better?
The Japanese version, there's definitely this feeling of this is kind of how it's supposed to be, but yeah. I can't say the English version is any worse.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes American dubs aren't great. But people talk a lot of shit about American dubs of Japanese work, and I think, for the most part, people are really doing a pretty good job.
I think in the English version of this, they did a great job. I think part of what helps it is, while there are some names you would recognize doing the English dub, this isn't loaded with stars as the later day Studio Ghibli English dubs become, like the most recent one, The Boy and the Heron, with Dave Bautista and Robert Pattinson, who goes fucking crazy being the voice of the Heron or whatever he is.
Yeah. Well, I know they got John Lasseter to direct the English dub.
Right.
The voice actors, so.
Well, this did get distributed by Walt Disney.
Yeah.
At least in America it did, because they were like, hey, this is a beautiful movie. We should make money off of this.
Yeah, our names should be on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you could tell because they even have John Ratzenberger in the English dub because he plays the assistant manager.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's the little frog dude who sings about kissing no faces behind.
Yeah.
But before we get too far into it, hey, Andy, what year did Spirited Away come out?
It's interesting that you would ask because the year is 2001.
What?
Yeah. And that is also the year of our Megazord.
It is. It is the year of our Megazord, 2001.
Now, let me tell you about the top grossing films. I'm going to start at number 15 because it's Spirited Away.
I also like that you start at 15 because that's a good number to start at. I'm glad you didn't go to like 47 or some shit.
Yeah, I figured it's a pretty good number. I could kind of just fucking go through all these movies.
Multiples of fives are good lists unless you're the MLB Network.
Yeah.
Because they do 9s, which makes sense because it's baseball.
Right. Spirited Away made $274 million in the box office.
Is this in America? Is this worldwide?
This is worldwide, Robbie.
Mr. Worldwide.
Mr. 305.
The bigger they come, the harder they fall. This biggity boy's a diggity dog. And people say lyrics are meaningless.
Well, number 14 is Bridget Jones' Diary.
Dear Diary, today I caught the bus. Pretty mundane diary entry, I guess. Nothing really interesting there. It's not like it's Joe Biden's daughter's entry.
Nice. It made $281 million.
I thought Renee Zellweger, I didn't realize she was American.
Is she?
Is she or is she Australian?
I have no idea.
Or maybe it's the other way around. Hey, let me look up Renee Zellweger real quick so I can get my story straight before I make a fool of myself and someone writes in going, hey, yeah, she is American. Okay. I, for some reason, thought she was like British or something. And at one point I was lamenting. I was like, I'm fucking tired of these British actresses playing American roles. And they looked at me and they were like, she's American, you fucking moron. Yeah, she was born in Texas.
Wow.
I guess I thought she was British because she's won 2 British Academy Film Awards.
Huh.
She was also married to Kenny Chesney.
Really?
Yeah.
I always thought she was British as well.
Yeah, okay, because she's got a brave British face.
Yeah, and she plays British
I don't know what that
people
means.
sometimes.
Yeah, she does. She does. Isn't she British in Bridget Jones? Or am I crazy?
I believe so, yeah.
Hello?
I never seen it.
I'm Bridget Jones. I wrote a diary.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Neither of us have seen Bridget Jones. We have no idea what we're talking about.
I think we've made that abundantly clear.
Yeah.
Number 13 is American Pie 2 with $287 million.
American Pie 2, Pecan.
Very good. Number 12 is A Beautiful Mind, which is the opposite of what you have, Robbie.
Very nice.
$313 million. Number 11 is a movie I saw in theaters, Rush Hour 2. $347 million.
I don't think I've seen any of the Rush Hour movies.
They're fun. They're a good time. They're all the same movie, but they're a good time.
It's like the Austin Powers trilogy.
Yeah. Number 10 is Hannibal with $351 million. Number 9 is Mark Wahlberg's Planet of the Apes with $362 million.
So I blinded one of the apes. Next thing I know, I have a criminal record.
Yeah, but like everybody kind of forgot. Jurassic Park 3, previous episode, number 8, $368 million.
I forgot the kid's name. Is the kid's name, is that Kevin? Or am I thinking of Home Alone?
I don't remember.
Because I'm just imagining her yelling Kevin, but again, that could also just be because of Home Alone.
Yeah. What you should do is you should go to our previous episode on Jurassic Park 3.
All right, let me pause the recording. I'm going to go back and listen to it.
Okay.
I'm going to listen to the whole episode, though.
You know what? Don't even pause it. Let's just listen.
Right. And I'll cringe the whole time because that's one of our first episodes.
That's true. Number 7 is The Mummy Returns with $433 million.
The Mummy comes back.
Yep. Number 6 is Pearl Harbor, $449 million. Number 5 is Ocean's 11, $450 million. Number 4 is previous episode Shrek with $484 million. Number 3 is Monsters, Inc. with $528 million.
This is a big year for animation.
Yes, it is. Number 2 is Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring with $868 million. Damn. And number 1, of course, is Harold Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, or the Philosopher's Stone, with $974 million.
Harry Potter and the Stalactites.
Very good.
He's just spelunking. We're in a cave, Hermione.
It's Leviosa. The second time I said that.
E pluribus unum.
What's that?
That's what it says on money.
Oh, yeah.
Andy, you ready to talk about Spirited Away?
You know I is.
We open up on a family moving. The daughter, Chihiro, is absolutely despondent over having to go to a new school. She has these flowers given to her by a friend or something like that. She is absolutely right. One rose isn't a bouquet, but this leads me to my first question.
Oh, already.
Why would a 10-year-old girl be upset about not getting a bouquet of flowers yet? Like, you're 10. Am I weird, or is that weird?
Well, I think they're showing that she's kind of a whiner, you know?
But she's 10 and moving. I feel like a little girl is allowed to be upset if she's 10 and moving.
Sure, but this is, this is a very different culture, from ours.
Yeah.
And I that's something I like about it. This is like not hiding any sort of Japanese anything.
No.
Like nobody washed this and was like, "Oh, let's make this look a little more." They were just like, "You know what? This is beautiful as it is. Let's send it over." And if they don't like it, sucks.
Sucks to suck, brother.
Yeah. Yeah.
We get the title card. The music here is excellent, and it is beautiful throughout the entire movie. This mostly piano score we get.
Oh man, let me tell you what, Robbie. Beauteous.
Yes.
Beauteous. I'm agreeing.
Yeah, it is really so good. It really starts out right when the movie opens, and you just get the little bring or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's very nice. Also, the animation is beautiful. Even they're just like in a car, but
yes.
it's a cut above,
I think throughout this whole movie, the animation is great, and I don't know if at times they use CGI. It kind of looks like they use CGI at times to spruce it up.
Yes.
But like even when we're like running through those quick shots of her running through like the flower maze or whatever.
Yeah.
Those look really, really good.
Yeah, the CGI is used well.
And I think there's also CGI when she helps the stink spirit and all like the whole fucking dump comes out of him.
Yeah, that might be hand drawn too. I don't know.
I think the only part there that looks CG to me is when we see all of the stuff actually like fall out of him and push forward.
Okay.
I think the rest of that is hand drawn except for that.
Well, CG shot in the beginning is when they're driving and she sees a little statue in the woods and it kind of zooms into that and like the background is moving in a very 2001 CGI way.
Yes. The father thinks he took a wrong turn, so he just goes down this road that is super dark.
Yeah, and he floors it.
Yeah, he's driving like a fucking madman.
An insane man. And he's like, I got 4-wheel drive, brother. Like, all right, dude.
He's going to get a call from Dominic Toretto pretty soon.
Yeah.
And even the mom's like, chill out. He's like, I got 4-wheel drive.
Yeah. He's like, I ain't no pussy.
Here's an interesting one of the first differences I noticed between the English and the Japanese versions. In the English version, they call these little homes that they see shrines. But in Japan, in the Japanese version, they don't call them shrines. They just straight up call them houses of the spirits or something like that.
I see. Yeah. Okay.
Which isn't really a major change. It's just one of those things that I notice and I go, why wouldn't... I guess maybe they don't have a word for... I mean, they definitely have a word for shrine.
Yeah. Well, I mean, keep that coming because I'm very interested in that.
Yeah. It's like you said, it's very little things like this. I mean, there's another one almost right after that when they come up to the building and the dad is about to just walk in, right?
Yeah.
And the mom, so they're going in and when that big gust of wind comes, in the English version, Chihiro says, "The wind is pulling us in." In the Japanese version, it's not that the wind is blowing them in. It just says the wind is blowing in. So in the English version, I think they were idiot-proofing it a little bit.
Yeah, well, I know that, again, with there's a huge language difference. Like, certain words don't exist in Japanese, and certain words don't exist in English. So you got to, explain, one word in a sentence. It's strange.
Yes, that is true. But I think here it was just so everybody knows the wind is actively pulling them in.
Right.
But in the Japanese version, it's just her acknowledging, huh, that's odd that the wind is just blowing into this place.
Right.
The parents are also terrible people because they're just going to leave her in the car.
Yeah. And I'm going to speak more to this later when cuz I've recently started my masters and I'm taking a class called culture, and it is serendipitous that we would watch this movie while I'm taking this class. Cuz boy howdy, Robbie, am I making some connections. This movie is rich in subtext.
So you're going for the green jacket.
I'm going for the I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
In golf, if you win the Masters, you win a green jacket.
Oh. Yeah, I'm going for the green jacket.
I don't know. I appreciate that you didn't try to go with it. You're like, I don't know what that.
Yeah, I didn't know if you were calling me a pedophile like you normally do,
Nope. I was making a golf joke. Mainly because
okay.
I'm trying to steer clear of those kind of jokes because this movie was so beautiful.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, and 7 years ago, Robbie.
She follows behind her parents, as any 10-year-old would in this situation, which makes me think it was more like the parents being like, she'll come, and if she doesn't, we won't just go.
Yeah, like I'm still giving the parents the benefit of the doubt here because you don't really know them.
Right.
And it kind of seems like I know my kid. Like they'll follow.
Yeah. Her dad is the thickest man of all time.
He's
He, and then when he runs, he's running in all that thickness, all that booty jiggling as he's running to food.
well, like these are the two most impulsive parents on earth. They're moving.
Yes.
Arguably the most stressful and busy day that you might ever live,
Especially when you have a 10-year-old. You have
Yeah.
to be a little more sympathetic to your 10-year-old who is moving schools.
Right. But also, they're just like, yeah, we could stop and check this place out. It's like, what? Yeah, they're just walking through it, and then he's like, "Oh, something smells good." Like, and the mom's like, "I could eat. Yeah, let's eat." And then they just start eating this food that's on a table.
Well, I think this is a test from you, Baba. And the reason I say that is so they're getting pulled in, the wind is blowing them in, and it's kind of, making them want to walk in there. They're being pulled in there, they're being drawn in there by something they don't understand.
Yes.
And the mom, they don't smell food until the mom says some line about, "Oh, I wish we brought our food. We could have a picnic."
Didn't
And
notice
that's
that.
when the spirits, or I guess Yubaba, goes, "Oh, I know how I can lure them in. I'll have them smell food."
Well, all I'm saying is somebody should diagnose these parents with ADHD because Jesus Christ.
Once they walk in, the dad immediately is like, "Oh, it's just an abandoned theme park. Let's break the law and walk around."
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like a good idea. Also, the dad is apparently part scent hound. Because he's walking through the fucking city like,
Yeah, he is. He's Wolverine.
yeah, might as well put his nose to the ground and start walking around. Sticks his head in Yubaba's crotch.
Jesus.
He's a dog!
I understand, Robbie, but that's a big, scary old lady.
It is.
So, like I said, I was making connections, right? And there are cultures, Western cultures like us, are individualistic, right? It's all about like self gain and everything you accomplish, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Eastern cultures like Japan are, I wrote it down, collectivist, right?
Yes.
Where it's more about community and family, right? Now, post-war, like World War II, Japan had a huge influx of American influence, like on their economy, on a lot of it.
Yes.
And your boy Miyazaki is saying something here, like with his chest, First off, they eat the food, right?
Yes.
And he even says, he's like, I got credit cards. There ain't no problems here.
Well, in fairness, they do say, like, they're not outright bad people. Because they sit there looking for the people before they just start eating. They're like, hey, we're trying to give you money over here.
Yeah.
And the mom's like, just eat. We'll pay them when they show up.
Right.
Because they are at a restaurant. Like, at the end of the day, they are at a food market. Because even the mom mentions, everything's a restaurant.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
now,
they're not totally out of line to eat this food.
sure. Would you eat food that was prepared in an abandoned theme park, Robbie?
No, but I've also never been under the spell of a demonic spirit. So,
Oh, dude, you got to try it.
maybe I will.
Well, yeah.
I don't know what that laugh was for.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I just joined it. Chihiro is like the voice of reason here.
Yeah.
And I like how she goes exploring. And yeah, again, you get these huge, beautiful like landscapes and buildings, and just the art is fantastic.
It really is, especially when she first sees the working bathhouse and the smoke billowing out of it, or the steam.
Yeah, it's cool.
It looks incredible.
Your boy shows up.
Yes, well, she runs out into the street. She sees the bathhouse, and that's when she meets a boy. That's Haku. I kept wanting to make references to the professional wrestler Haku, and then I kept being like, it's just Andy on the podcast. He's not going to get it.
You're correct.
And the reference to Haku, or Meng, as he's known in WCW, would be totally lost, and I'd be sitting here looking like a virgin fool. But then again...
So like yourself, Robbie.
I'm sitting here watching Japanese cartoons, so what else would I be?
This isn't a virgin film. This is a beautiful film.
Yeah, no.
Everybody should see this movie.
This is so good.
Yeah.
Haku does some magic to protect Chihiro. She returns to her parents, and they are pigs. And they can't stop eating, and we see this frog smack the shit out of her father.
Yeah, but also, if I watched this when I was a kid, that would have scared the shit out of me.
This would have scared the shit out of me. And then when she's running through this, like, town or whatever, and we see all these, like, shadow spirits or whatever, just these dark figures, that would have terrified me.
Yeah. I liked how as soon as Haku shows up, he's like, you got to get out of here before it's dark. And it immediately becomes dark. He's like, shit.
Time passes quick here.
Yeah.
She tries to escape. Suddenly, there is a river where there wasn't before. She starts to become transparent. A ship pulls up, and we see a bunch of, like, playing card-looking guys come out.
Yeah, but the way they form as they come out is so cool.
It really is.
Yeah.
Haku finds Chihiro. He gives her food to eat. She has to eat the food or else she'll disappear.
Oh, I missed a joke. Sucks your parents are pigs. Turns out her parents were American the whole time.
Very nice.
Boom.
Yes. Well, that is another thing. In this movie, Chihiro's mom just looks white.
I'd have to see her again.
I think in a lot of these movies, the people look very mixed race, Asian and white. Real quick, thank you so much for listening. If you want to send us some feedback, send us an email at roydsreview@gmail.com. That's ROYDSREVUE@gmail.com.
You could also find our music on Spotify, iTunes, wherever you get your music, by searching The Royds. That's ROYDS. We have 2 albums and a Christmas song. Hope you like it. Yeah, I mean, Haku is drawn like a traditional anime character. Like he's got like the regular anime eyes. Everybody else kind of has their own thing going on. But also a lot of people are like weird creatures and frogs and stuff.
Well, that's the thing. There aren't really a lot of people per se in this movie.
Humanoid, you know?
Yeah. And even that's a stretch.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of like humanoid frogs in the bathhouse.
Yeah.
Which is weird because then there's also an actual frog. Or several.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. I like the big radish guy.
Yes. He's radish spirit.
Yeah.
Chihiro gets better. We see a bird with a witch's face flying overhead. I really love the design of As I call her, Ubirdba,
Nice.
just flying around.
Yeah. Again, would have spooked me when I was a kid.
I don't know if that would have spooked me.
I don't know. Just a bird with a old lady head. I don't know.
You know what would have spooked me as a kid? No Face.
Oh, for sure, brother.
That mask, if I saw this as a child, that mask would have been ingrained into my head and I wouldn't have slept for days.
I don't know if just the image would scare me, but him going eh, eh.
That sounds like when I'm trying not to come.
I thought we were keeping it classy on this.
I couldn't help it. You made the noises and you can't fully change, Andy.
No, you can't.
You could take
you
the
could.
cum out of the boy, but you can't take the boy out of the cum.
Oh, Robbie.
Haku tells Chihiro not to breathe as she walks across the bridge. She does a really good job of it until a frog jumps in front of her and just ah!
Yeah. I like how was he freezes her. He freezes the frog boy
Yes.
and he's just floating.
That frog goes through it in this movie.
Yeah, that's the same one that gets 8 later.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
Haku tells Chihiro she needs to go find Kamaji, the boiler man. She has to ask him for work. She's working her way down the steps. Also, real quick, it was really cool how Haku told her how to get there because he held her head and was like, just envision it.
They just shove the information into her brain. She's like, oh my God.
She's working her way down the steps. She's being really safe, but she falls, but then somehow is ultimately running down the steps.
Yeah. I liked how once she gets to the final step, she leaps forward. And when you leap a distance, you don't just land on your feet and you don't move at all. Momentum carries you. And they animate that. And I'm like, damn, that's attention to detail. That's good.
It's so good. She also assumingly destroys her orbital bone when she smashes into the wall.
Yeah, maybe.
She goes into the boiler room. She sees Kamaji. He's a Spider-Man. I think all his little soot ball helpers are really cool.
Yeah, this was very, very cool. And his design is fucking sick as well.
His design is awesome because at first they kind of try to hide all the extra arms.
Yeah, but then they're super long and shit.
Yes, but when you first see him, he's just using the 2 arms.
Yeah.
And you see 2 legs crossed, but if you look closely, you see the other arms just folded, and then he just starts using them.
Yeah. It's very cool. Very cool. He also looks like Dr. Robotnik.
He does look like Dr. Robotnik.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
We're also hand drawing all these soot ball workers and the rocks that they're carrying. That's a lot of work, brother.
That is a lot of work, and I give them a lot of credit for doing it because it looks really awesome.
It does.
I also like that they gave the little soot balls personality.
Yeah. And I like how we just said his name, Kamaji.
Mm-hmm.
I like how Kamaji is it's kind of he's get out of here, essentially. But then later we find he's a super nice guy. So I think he was just trying to be you don't want to work here. You don't want to get involved with this. Get out of here.
Because the minute Lynn walks in, he's like, she's my granddaughter.
Yeah. I'm a nice guy now.
Yeah. And even Lynn's like, all right.
Yeah. You got 8 arms, right, brother?
It's awesome that she picks the soot ball, or the rock up off the soot ball, and is like, what do I do? Finish what you started, human.
Yeah. And I like how when she does it, all the soot balls are like, oh shit, she'll just do the work for us if we crush ourselves. Loved it.
And then he yells at all the soot balls because his spell will wear off if they don't work.
Yeah. That's cool.
Kamaji asks Lynn to take Chihiro to Yubaba. That's when he says he's a granddaughter. Lynn admonishes Chihiro. She's like, what? You're not going to say yes, ma'am, or thank you? And from that, she just goes going, yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
The next 4 things she says is, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Showing she's just a polite little kid.
Yeah. And I like how clumsy she is, throughout the whole movie. It never changes.
Yes.
And I think it's just fun to animate that, and like I think they're kind of flexing when they're doing that. They're like, check this shit out. Like
Right.
we animate everything, brother. Like she even bonks her head on the entrance to Lynn's little, well, I guess the rest of the bathhouse from
Yes.
Kamaji's place. And she like Lynn even kind of, she's like, you're such a fucking klutz, man. Like,
Well, if you wanted to get wasted, you could play a drinking game, take a drink every time Chihiro falls down.
yeah, falls, stumbles, cracks her head.
Because
Yeah.
she's doing that throughout this entire movie.
Yeah. But I have a note where if you just bottle one instance from this movie that show, because this movie is very strange.
Yeah.
But if you just take one moment, it would be like if you just took this one scene where the six-armed man asks a seemingly normal woman to take a human girl to see Yubaba while she feeds the sootball creatures what looks like rainbow stars.
She's feeding them fucking Lucky Charms.
Yeah. And Lynn is like, nah, I ain't doing that. And he's like, well, what if I give you this roasted newt? And she's like, all right, here we go. Like, if you just take that and show it to somebody, they're like, what the fuck are you showing me?
Yes.
What are you showing me, brother?
It's also great because the newt, we find out there's an actual reason he gives her the roasted newt, and it's to get past the frog.
Yeah.
Because this frog is about to come when he's shown that newt.
Yeah. But he's also a real stickler.
He is. Because he's like, I smell human. I love that humans smell bad in this universe.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. And I like how they're like, the smell will wear off in a couple of days.
After she eats all our food.
Yeah.
We're on the elevator. We see the radish spirit, which looks awesome.
And I like how he's like,
Yeah.
he's just like breathing all heavy and shit.
Now, I don't think the radish spirit needed nipples, but okay.
That was my favorite part of his
I
design.
figured it was.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a weird guy.
I want to talk about some of my favorite spirits because this is as we're walking through the bathhouse, we see a lot of like really cool looking like spirits and stuff.
Yeah.
So first of all, I got to mention I looked up their names too. The Otori Sama, these little duck guys.
Okay. Yeah. They're hilarious.
They're just there. They don't do anything.
They got the 1,000-yard stare.
Yes. I think these guys are really fun. Obviously, we mentioned the soot balls. The frog who goes through it this whole movie, that's Egeru. I'm butchering these names, so apologies now.
Yeah, yeah.
But he's a lot of fun because he's just a greedy little prick.
Yeah, yeah.
And then when No Face finally eats him, that's the voice we hear the whole time. I think that's great.
Yeah, it's great and creepy.
It is very creepy. Because even the guy's like, I know that voice.
Yeah.
I also really like the Kashira, the 3 green heads. The
Yeah, yeah.
I don't even understand. Some of these creatures, there's not even a purpose for. They're just fun to look at.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of just great designs.
Just like later on, we get the great Bo and Ubirdba combination.
Yeah.
Those two feel like a Disney movie. Because it's like, look at these 2 little guys who are on the adventure with us.
Yeah, yeah.
But these, I don't know, I wanted to take a time just to mention some of my favorite spirits, because this is where, as we're walking through the bathhouse, we get to really see a lot of the spirits.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm right there with you, brother.
Chihiro is approaching Yubaba's door. The piano as she's approaching is super spooky.
Yeah.
She gets admonished by the door knocker as she tries to just walk in.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, pathetic. She's like, I'm just 10.
Well, that's another difference between the Japanese version and the English version.
Hmm.
In the Japanese version, all she says is, what a plain girl.
Oh.
But in the English version, she's like, look at this stupid piece of trash. We meet Yubaba. Her design is awesome.
Yeah, she's a big, scary, super detailed old lady.
She's not even that big. It's just a giant head.
Yeah, yeah. Her powers are sick, though.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
she grabs Chihiro by the collar and, like, whips her through all these corridors and shit. It's very cool.
It's so cool. And then she pulls a Beetlejuice and zips her mouth shut.
She does, yeah.
She reveals that Chihiro's parents were turned into pigs because they ate the food of the spirits. Chihiro keeps asking for a job, and that's when Yubaba's like, I'm going to zip your mouth shut, but I'm going to ask you who helped you, and you're going to have to tell me. So she unzips her mouth again, and she just keeps asking for a job. She is following what she was told and just consistently asking for that job.
Yeah. I forget what she says. I think it's probably because that's really all she says. It's like, I need a job.
Right.
But Yubaba leaps from her desk.
That looks so good.
Yeah. And if I had seen this when I was a kid, my pants would be shitted, Robbie.
When she's flying at Chihiro and you just see like the giant head and the nose and it's just flying at you with that giant like mark. Ugh.
Yeah. And then like her hair is like choking Chihiro. I was like, I'm spooked. Damn. But then Big Baby comes to the rescue.
Yes, the big baby starts crying.
Toy Story 3's Big Baby.
Yubaba gives Chihiro a contract and renames her Sen, and then we get this like exposition line that's just like, I shouldn't have taken that oath that I'll give a job to anyone who asks.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here's some connections I made. Okay. Yubaba is capitalism. Okay. She's very driven by profit, right? Like throughout the whole movie. And she takes your name, right? And it's kind of like Miyazaki saying, you know, in a capitalist society, you're not a person, you're just another worker, you know? You're just somebody who does their job and you go home and that's it. Like, you don't have an identity, you are just another worker. And, you know, there's a lot to do with identity and all that in this movie. I mean, taking somebody's name immediately and then making them forget it. It's pretty powerful stuff. It's pretty cool.
I just thought this was a fun movie about being nice to people. I didn't catch on it. I didn't pick up any of that.
Robbie.
I don't. That's my problem. I never look at movies like this looking for like a deeper meaning. I'm just watching a cartoon and it's just like, yeah, be nice to people. I get it. I like this. This is a nice movie about why you should just be nice to people.
No, I found that this was rich in subtext. Like he's trying to say something. He's saying something. And a lot of it he's saying like right to your fucking face.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying my brain doesn't work like that. I just don't watch like cartoons like that.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have picked it up if I weren't in the middle of taking this class on culture.
See, I thought because like when I got my master's and I had to take classes like that, I would also start analyzing shit like that, and then I'd be like, maybe it is just a movie though. But that's just me.
Robbie. All movies have subtext. It's like,
so you think Dude, Where's My Car has subtext?
Okay, most movies have subtext.
All right. Yeah, I was like, I wouldn't even say most, but.
You wouldn't say most?
No, I wouldn't.
Robbie, how can you have a movie review podcast and not think that movies have subtext?
I'm not saying I don't think most movies have subtext. I'm thinking a lot. I think if you go through every movie ever made, the majority of them would not have subtext.
Okay. There are a lot of like blockbusters that
like don't. I'm thinking of all the blockbusters. I mean, you can think of all these movies that Frank Sinatra was in.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't know.
But they're movies.
Yeah.
You know, right. I'm thinking of, you know, the Shrek movies.
They have subtext. That's why I like them. That's why I was shitting my pants when we were watching them.
Oh my God.
Listen, I think most movies, a director in at least like a few scenes, they're saying something without saying it, you know?
Yeah, I think sometimes they're trying to, maybe. But at the end of the day, I think most people watch movies just going, this is a fun little movie.
Right. But like, you know, you can watch it like that and still be entertained, and that's great. But like, you can also watch it looking for subtext and pulling what you want at. That's what makes it, you know, interactive in a way.
Yeah, I know, but I guess as a like one thing I've always hated as a songwriter is when people would listen to my songs and then try to like analyze it. I'm like, shut the fuck up, just listen to the song.
I mean, I like analyzing things. I like analyzing things.
Oh,
But I like to analyze music and movies and like video games and shit for things that aren't being said right, like directly, you know? Like even in acting, like when somebody does something that is, it might just be like a menial thing, like, oh, whatever. But that could have meant something, you know? And I'm interested in that. It makes me
frothy.
frothy at the Jennies.
Oh, ew.
But yeah, that's how I mean, especially a movie like this that's so artistic and rich in everything. It's like, okay, there's definitely a deeper meaning going on here. Like there's definitely something.
And that message is be nice to people.
I don't think it is, Robbie. I mean, maybe ultimately, yeah, be nice to people, but I think it's also like I think Miyazaki is saying like, why can't we go back to like traditional values in Japan because all this capitalism mixed in our society is making us eat each other. No face. Huh? Huh? Robbie?
I guess then why would No Face just be addicted to the person who's so nice to him? If he's
So
evil,
No Face, to me, he is chasing the traditional value, but he can't find it in this bathhouse that is so capitalistic. Remember, he's dropping gold and people are going nuts.
right?
Right?
But I mean,
And then
they'd go
he
nuts if
starts,
he did it anywhere.
not necessarily true.
If someone just walked up to you and started giving you gold, you wouldn't take it.
I would, but I'm a part of a capitalistic society. Capitalistic? Is that a word? Capitalist.
Yes.
But like, I think maybe if you drop that in a traditional Japanese area, they would spread the wealth or whatever.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know either.
Human beings are inherently selfish.
I agree. But the thing is, he later, I'm jumping ahead, but she even says, Chihiro says something about that bathhouse makes him crazy.
Yeah.
And it's because of all the greed. And then finally, when they go to Granny across the sea or whatever the fuck that is on the train,
Right.
he feels good and he stays because that's traditional Japanese values over there. She's traditional.
Then why did he even go to the bathhouse then?
He was lost. He's a lost spirit.
It feels like one of those people who like they know they're not going to like something when they go to watch it and then bitch about it after they watch it.
Well, he wouldn't be able. He'd just be like, people would be like, I think he liked it. I don't know.
Well, no. After he had the frog guy in his mouth, he could be like, "Hey, I don't like this very much." He's like, "Then leave."
That's true. Well, see, he was seeking her because whenever he would offer her anything, she would say no, thank you. And he was like, oh shit, that's that good shit. Literally everybody else was like, give it.
I thought he was just upset because he was trying to pay her back and she was refusing to take it.
Maybe. This is just how I saw it. This is how I seen it. So where were we, Robbie? Before I poop my pants.
Lynn is set to work with Chihiro. She takes her to the spirits and they're all like, she fucking smells.
Yeah, and then they start giving her the bad jobs.
Yes, they give her the giant tub. Lynn tells Sen that Haku is Yubaba's henchman and he should not be trusted. We see Yubaba take flight as a giant bird with Yubirdba. I just think that looks awesome. I don't know why she needs to fly with Yubirdba.
Yeah. Is that the character's actual name?
What?
Yubirdba?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if they ever actually give the name.
Yeah, that it just like later turns into a fly and is just like a little sidekick. Like it never really does anything.
They turn into a crow.
Oh, crow. Yeah, yeah. But it buzzes like a
Fly.
fly. It buzzes like a fly.
I guess, but I think it's also like it's just a bird because it's a crow hummingbird thing. I mean, it's carrying a mouse.
It's true.
The next morning, Sen is sleeping among Lin and the others. Haku comes in and tells her to meet her by the bridge, and he'll take her to see her parents. She gets her shoes from the soot balls. We see that creepy spirit, and they go see the parents, and they're just pigs.
Yeah.
And Haku seems to know what the final test is going to be because he's like, remember who they are.
Yeah, I didn't pick up on that because eventually when she's like, I'll give her one test, I was like, it's gonna be what's your real name? But I was wrong.
I also think if there was any message I would have to take from this movie is remember who's cared about you. Remember who your loved ones are. Because we have this with remember which pigs are your parents, but then later on we even have Yubaba, and it's like, you don't recognize your own son?
Yeah.
But it's like, in fairness, she's a fucking mouse.
Yeah,
dude.
he's a little
Come
mouse
on.
boy. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. I have a question.
Yeah.
Why are Haku and Lin, and later we see a few more, but why are they the only ones who look like humans, and everybody else is a big weirdo?
I think it's because those are I have no idea. I was gonna have this is what I've picked up from the context of the movie. I would use context clues. Is that Lin and Haku's a legitimate spirit.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess he could just transform and shit.
Yeah.
Fine. I think Lin is a human who has just kept doing her work. I think all the other weirdos were humans who stopped working at some point, so that's why they got turned into animals. And then the other ones are the spirits who are just coming in and getting cleaned up and shit.
Okay.
That's what I thought.
Works for me.
Haku gives Sen a rice ball like Brock from the Pokemon series. Remember they were always eating the rice balls?
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
A while ago, like maybe 10 years ago, Pokemon went on Netflix and everybody was like, oh shit. And I started watching it. I got like 2 episodes in. I was like, this is actually terrible. This is really
unwatchable
bad.
As an adult.
Yeah. It's fucking rough. Like, not only is it clearly for kids, but also the animation is like the worst.
Yeah. Totally unwatchable as an adult.
Yeah.
I did the same thing. I watched 2 episodes and I went, I'm out.
Yeah. It fucking sucks, actually.
I'll play the games. Till the cows come home.
You got cows, Robbie?
Moo, moo, moo.
Oh, shit. He is a cow.
I am a cow.
Oh, my God.
I ate all that food and they transformed me into a cow. They're going to use me for my beef. I'm gonna give you Baba my beef. All right.
This man can't help himself.
When Sen is eating this rice ball, she starts crying the largest tears of all time.
Yeah. They're huge.
They are the biggest tears I've ever seen.
Incredibly animated.
Yes, excellent.
Holy shit. Also, just finally, she's like, for a while, you're like, that's, this sucks, but, she's handling it. And then she's like, that's right. It's a 10-year-old girl.
Yes.
Like, imagine being 10 and like your parents are pigs, and also you got to work for the rest of your life in a bathhouse with all these creatures. Be like, what the fuck? No.
Sen sees Haku fly like a dragon. The creepy
of course
spirit.
He's a dragon.
Yeah, sure.
This world is crazy.
The creepy spirit follows Sen onto the bathhouse side of the bridge. I like that she breathed on the bridge because she was stunned that Haku was a dragon.
Yeah. Yeah. Is this where we see a little glimpse of No Face, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's the creepy spirit following Sen onto the bathhouse side of the bridge. That's No Face.
Oh, I apologize.
That's the one. I was calling him creepy spirit until they gave us his name.
I see.
We then see Sen working with Lin, and she sucks at her job because she's 10.
Yeah.
And Lin goes, geez, Sen, haven't you ever worked a day in your life? Probably not.
No.
She's 10.
I'm 10. I'm 10 and I have not. I feel like all things considered, she's doing a pretty good job.
Yeah. She calls the working on the big tub frog work.
Mm.
You're sounding like, here, I don't want to come in there and take all those frog jobs.
Yeah.
They're coming into the spirit world. They're taking the frog jobs. We see No Face. He's standing out in the rain. Sen leaves the door open for him. They get to the big tub, and it's absolutely gross. And then they go, hey, you got some customers coming. And she's like, what the fuck? This is harassment. She actually calls it harassment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, no, you're being asked to do your job. And you got stuck with the child, with the human child. So yeah, your job's gonna suck. You helped the human.
Yeah. Yeah. No good deed goes unpunished, Rami.
Yeah, I don't know why Lynn is surprised by this.
Yeah. I mean, we do learn of the bath tokens,
Yes. We see the giant sludge walking in the rain.
So you know how you opened this podcast by calling me the stink spirit?
Yeah.
I have in my notes, I said, oh, it's Robbie, the stink spirit.
I was like, I'm going to call Andy the stink spirit before he can call me the stink spirit.
Yeah.
I really like that the foreman is like, I'm not giving you bath tokens. She's like, I need them. And so the No Face shows up and just gives Sen the bath tokens as the foreman is distracted.
Yeah. And he's like, what the?
And he gives her so many bath tokens. She's like, I didn't need this many, but all right.
Yeah. Well, he gives her the one first, and then later he shows up with like a trillion.
Yeah, I know.
And again, that's where she's like, no, thank you. And he's like, huh? No, he wasn't like that.
Yeah. The spirit drops the tokens. The tub overflows. The stink spirit shows up, gets into the tub, and the room immediately is filled with sludge, which makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, I mean, the animation going on here is insane to the membrane, Robbie.
It looks so good, from the sludge to the water that comes in later on, and it's like swirling around.
Yeah, but like every frame of this sludge monster is moving because he's liquid.
Yeah.
It's
he's
just
Grimer.
Yeah, he's muck. Yeah. And it's like you said, the rooms are filling up with sludge as well, but it's like a more viscous sludge.
Yeah.
It's just detail. And it's fucking crazy.
It's really, really good. We really see Sen and her willingness to do whatever it takes, because she's like, no, I'm going to get more water. And we see everyone's like, she's going to waste all her good water. And Yubaba's like, let's see what she does here, brother.
Right. And that's, again, the difference is Sen, or Chihiro, still has a traditional mindset where she's like, oh, let me help. I want to help this customer. Like, it's my job, and I'm going to help him. And everybody else is like, don't waste it on him. And even as he was walking in, the big slug spirit, stink spirit, everybody was like, no, we're closed. Don't come in here.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't want to help him.
You know what's interesting? I saw that in a totally different way.
How'd you see it?
Because I think Sen was working so hard because she was afraid. Remember, the whole thing is, once she stops working, she gets turned into a pig.
Yeah.
And that's why I think we have Yubaba watching down, and Yubaba's like, if she stops working, I can turn her into a piggy.
Sure, but I don't know. I just feel she seems very genuine in her.
Yes, I think she genuinely cares, yes.
Yeah, like she wants to help rather than turn him away.
Well, because it gets to a point where it's more than just cleaning him off. She sees what she thinks is a thorn.
Yeah. Well, like, real quick, when she's making her way through the sludge. Stinking bad.
Just like Andy from the podcast.
Damn it. So, like, the animation of her walking through the sludge, and it's like leaving an imprint that slowly gets like filled in from other sludge. I was like, damn, this detail is insane.
It looks so good. It's so well done.
But like, she opens that the hatch to put the token on, and she drops one, and she looks down to go get it, and it's just gone forever. She's like, "Wow, whatever," and she puts another one on, sends it up, and they're like, "That's one of our best formulas."
Yeah.
It's just it's all great. And then she gets in there, like you said, she sees a thorn, and she's like, "I got this," and she kind of rallies everyone to actually help this guy.
It's hard, but it's also, we got to give Yubaba credit here because she's like, everyone help.
Yeah, because Yubaba isn't actually evil.
Right. She just wants her business to run.
Right. But when it came to actually helping, she snapped into action, like you said.
Prince
And
Ali, fabulous she, Ali Yubaba.
very good. Yeah, but then they rip it out and it's like a bike and a car tire and like just
It's
pollution.
a full dump. It is a full dump that comes out.
Yeah. And that's where we get the other thing that this movie is about.
But real quick, what I like about that is we see Sen struggling to tie the knot, and we see the rope constantly slipping off.
Yes.
And Lynn has to come in and help her tie the knot. And I just thought the detail of watching her, because it would have been so easy for this movie just to have her tie the knot.
Right.
But no, she struggles with it. It looks so good as it's slipping off the bike handle. And that's when Lynn coming in and tying the knot and being like, listen, you suck at your job.
Yeah, but like, again, the detail is impeccable. And she's 10. Like, I can't fucking tie a knot now, and I'm fucking 33. So
but it's the inspiration of heart.
Yeah, and fart.
Very good.
Because he's stinky.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, he is.
They yank it out, and then you see this creepy old man mask, and you're like, huh? And he's like, thank you, brother.
Well done.
Yeah. And then he becomes a dragon, and he flies away, and they're like, oh, that's a river spirit.
That looks sick.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, this is about pollution and environmentalism as well.
Hedorah.
Is that the spirit's name?
No, it's a Godzilla monster. That's a big garbage monster.
Oh, interesting.
And it was all about pollution. Yeah. I think it's Hedorah.
I'm
going to double check because, I don't want the Godzilla community coming after me.
I'm a heterosexual.
Very good, Andy. It is Hedorah. Hedor. I was right. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but I was correct. It's a big garbage monster.
So he's like, you, Robbie. I feel that he really took this one. He took this one really hard.
For some reason, you've crossed the line.
Yeah.
Not all the times I call you the stink spirit, but you calling me a garbage monster, that's just too far.
Yeah.
Yubaba then tells everyone, like, hey, you can learn from Sen. Sakis are on the house tonight. Give me all that fucking gold you found.
Yeah. I legitimately laughed at that as well. That was very funny to me.
Because they're all celebrating, like, yeah, free sakis. They're like, oh, but no, that's my money.
Yeah.
Which is fair. That's fair because that's clearly that guy's payment.
Sure.
And it's like, you don't get to just keep it.
Yeah. I did like how, again, like, everybody rallied to help. And as soon as there was gold, everybody's like, oh, crazy again. Like, it's, I like it.
Which also, I didn't really mind it because at least they only saw the gold after the guy was gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if that makes sense, if you did all that, all that, because that was a pretty perilous situation.
Yeah. Also, the cleanup is going to be fucking rough, brother.
Yeah. I can't blame him for being like, I'm going to grab a few little chunks of gold here.
Yeah. Call
me Goldilocks. Because I love bears. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Agaru comes in. That's the little frog dude. Later on that night, he's looking for gold. And that's when we see No Face just starts giving him gold. He's like, did you make this?
I did like, he was just like, is this what you fucking want? And he like lures him in and then chomp, chomp, chomp.
Which was weird. Why did he eat him?
Because he wanted the gold. He took the gold.
But everyone takes gold later on.
That's true.
And he doesn't start eating people until I think he eats this guy strictly because he wants to talk.
Yeah, yeah, okay. So I think he eats that guy to
Because
talk,
he also
and
doesn't
then
kill them and eat them. He just
right,
like ingests them or something.
yeah, and later he eat the other people he eats is when he's in like a fit of rage
Right.
because Sen turns him down.
So this one right here just seems like you know what, this guy's kind of annoying.
Or he's like, I'm kind of hungry. Chop down this frogman.
Well, we also see the other guy coming in and be like, hey, what's going on in here? And the guy's like, open up.
Yeah,
No Face is like, you better start bringing me shit.
yeah, brother. Very cool. Very spooky.
It is spooky. What else is spooky is this dream that Sen has where she can't recognize her parents, and we get the close up of all the pigs on her.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
freaky.
yeah. Again, this because I was thinking as I was watching this, I was like, could I show this to my second grade class? No, the answer is no.
No, no. I think I here's the thing. This movie is excellent, objectively excellent.
Yes.
This is not the Disney animated film you could show to a young kid and be like, appreciate this.
Yeah, and you know what? I overall at the end of it, I was kind of getting like I thought to myself, I'm getting Alice in Wonderland vibes,
Yeah,
you
I
know?
could
So this is
totally
kind
see
of like
that.
the Disney of yesteryear, you know? A little bit. It's more like that than it is the Disney of now, you know?
Yes, that I agree with because
Yeah.
it's hand drawn animation, and that's the only reason, right?
No, I think also the connection I just made to Alice in fucking Wonderland, Robbie. The Johnny Depp one.
Oh, fuck you.
Yeah, fuck me.
You know what was funny? I was about to say I thought that was Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and then I remembered he did both,
He sure does, Robbie.
and they're both bad.
Yeah, both were directed by Timothy Burton,
Fucking
the
awful.
aesthetic man.
The new superhero, the aesthetic man.
Yeah, he's just like, that looks cool, right? And everybody's like, I guess. He's like, well, movie's done. Nah, man.
I think my work here is done, but you didn't do anything. Didn't I? We see all the workers at the bathhouse bringing No Face food, so he's giving them all gold. Haku returns in dragon form, and he has been messed up by a bunch of really sharp pieces of paper.
Yo,
This is really cool.
yeah, the animation is crazy. It's like visceral how fast he moves and stuff. It's just like really well animated.
And the way they animate these pieces of paper going from very jagged and sharp to being loose and papery.
Yeah, very cool.
And like when Sen gets up to go find Haku, and that one piece just stands up and just follows her through the hallway.
Yes, very cool. Very, very cool.
It looks
And
incredible.
yeah, and this is another reason you couldn't show this to certain kids. There's a tremendous amount of blood coming out of your boy Haku.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's a dragon, though.
Still, it's a lot of blood.
Have you seen the memes about how certain things in, I think it's China, they're trying to censor out blood from animes, so they've changed it white, and it just looks so much worse.
Yeah, I would imagine.
It just looks so much worse.
I mean, I feel like generally, at least back in the day, like Japanese animation, when it came over to America, depending on when it aired, it was like Dragon Ball Z was okay, but that is a very violent show.
Yeah.
But then like Yu Yu Hakusho was not. Yu Yu Hakusho was on like Adult Swim. I think it's because they said hell and damn, but like it was just as violent, if not less. So like I don't know. It's weird how America censors things. They're like blood, that's fine. Hell and damn, no, not gonna corrupt my youth. Like I just punched a hole in another guy. Like I don't know.
And what's funny is now it's so different because you could say hell and damn, but now they're not going to show blood.
Yeah, and like the new Dragon, like Dragon Ball Super was like mostly bloodless, and I was like, what is this?
That sucks.
Because like not only like I don't need the blood to like have a good time, but like it shows that the character's hurt. You know,
Right.
like it
Well,
illustrates something.
it's like in professional wrestling. I don't need blood all the time. But
Right.
you know what? Every now and then, when there's a feud and it's called a blood feud for a reason, yeah, maybe a little color is not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, it like adds to the stakes. It's like, oh shit, this is real. Like
Right.
I don't know.
You ever watch wrestling in the 90s? They bleed all over the place. 90s and early
Yeah, they do.
2000s.
I see some clips on random social medias, and I saw like
Eddie Guerrero versus JBL.
I don't know. It was what's his name? Is it the Ultimate Warrior? I don't know. There was just he was doing a press thing, and he was just punching himself in the forehead with like a ring and making himself bleed, and he's like screaming at the camera, and I was like actually a little bit disturbed by it. I was like, my guy.
If you ever see older wrestlers from like the 70s and 80s nowadays, and even the 90s,
Yeah, they're all scarred up there, right?
yeah, their
Yeah.
forehead, because they would legitimately take razor blades
Yeah.
and slice in. It was an art form. And the thing is, if you have you ever bled from your head or face?
Yes.
It bleeds more than any part of the body.
Yeah.
And especially when you're all sweaty like that, it just looks so much worse.
Yeah, and like if you're bleeding from your head and you're just like laying down, it's less so. But if you're active, like the blood is flowing.
You're right.
So, and they're active because they're fighting on a stage.
Yeah, I mean, if you ever see it, like some of these guys, like I think it's John Cena did it once, Eddie Guerrero, they like cut themselves a little too deep. And it's like, well, I'm going to vomit. I would have passed out by now.
Yeah.
And then you have people like fucking Goldberg who busts his head open because he smashes his own head against his locker room door. That's true. That is a true story. He did that and then had to walk out onto television. He would do this thing like to hype himself up where he like hit his head against his fucking door, and he did it and he walked out and he had blood trickling down his face. Fucking idiot.
Yeah,
He would kill me. I hope he never listens to that I just called him an idiot. He'd fucking kill me.
What's this muscle? Trap?
Yeah, trapezoid.
Trapezoid.
Trapezial or whatever it's called. Trapezius.
I don't know. That guy, Goldberg,
Trampoline?
especially, his trampolines are like too big. It's like, dude,
Yo, you ever see Brock Lesnar's?
that's true. Well, that guy's just a boulder.
Yeah, he's
That's just a big mountain man.
No Face tries to give Sen gold. She refuses. That's when he fucking loses it and just starts eating workers.
Yeah, that was good stuff. Also, the subtle animation of him being like gold, and she shakes her head no,
Yeah.
and like she shakes her head, but her hair moves like it. They could have just drawn her head moving side to side, but they animated her hair like going, a couple of frames after her head would move, and I was like, damn.
And even today, hair is notoriously difficult to animate.
Yeah.
So to be doing this in the early 2000s is incredible.
Yeah. No, the attention to detail is unmatched.
It really is.
Yeah.
Sen runs through some hallways into the baby's bedroom. The paper helps her get in.
Yeah, because the paper's got some motives.
Yes, indeed. This is where we finally see Yubaba's giant baby.
Yeah,
and the baby threatens to break her arm if she doesn't play with her.
Yeah, like, play with me or I will maim you. I was like, Jesus Christ, that's spooky.
At first, the baby goes, play with me or I'll cry and mommy will come in and kill you.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, fuck.
Jesus Christ.
But then he goes, how? He's like, if you don't play with me, I'll break your arm. It's like, oh, no.
Yeah. Spooky. Spookville.
But I also really love this detail that Yubaba is so overprotective that she's one of those parents who's told the baby, if you ever go outside, you'll get sick.
Yeah. The germs.
Yeah.
To rewind a little bit, she had to run across a pipe to get up there.
Yeah.
That pipe run, sick.
It was.
Absolutely sick.
Sen gets away from the baby by going, my germs, my germs.
Yeah. Because she had Haku's blood on her still.
Yes, because even one of the animals was like, blood?
Ah! Yeah. That was good stuff.
Yuberba stops Sen from helping Haku. That's when we see the paper turn into a second Yubaba, but it's Yubaba's twin sister, Zaniba. Could have done a little better on the names. I thought of there, but okay.
Yeah, I just started calling her Granny because later she's like, just call me Granny. I was like, thank
Yeah.
you. Oh my God, thank you.
Haku smashes the piece of paper and Zeniba disappears. He goes, paper cut!
Yeah.
But at this time, we also see Zeniba do a bunch of spells. She turns the baby into a mouse, Ubirdba into a little, like, crow thing. And then we see Haku, Ubirdba, Sen, and the mouse baby fall into, like, first a pit of spirits and then into the boiler room.
Yeah. Yeah. And I like how, what's his name?
Tamaji?
Kamaji. He's like, holy shit.
Yes. Haku spits out the seal that he had stolen from Zeniba, and Sen smashes the slug that came off of it. Barefoot too. Ugh.
Yeah, yucky.
If I stepped on a slug with no shoes on, I'd kill myself.
Yeah, I think so too. I think because the other day I I like stepped back. I wasn't looking, and I stepped on. This was outside, of course.
Yeah.
Something like burst under my foot. And I was like, and I looked at it, and it was a slug. And not only did I feel bad because the fuck, slug's not hurting anybody.
No.
But also, I did feel like the urge to kill myself, just because of how gross it was. I don't like things bursting.
I never walk outside without shoes on.
Yeah, I rarely do it. Rarely do it. I also I just don't like things bursting generally. Like I like corn, but like if you ever eat corn and you bite into it a certain way, it like bursts. And I'm always like, ugh. Yucky.
I love corn.
I love corn as well. I'm just saying.
No, you don't understand. Like, I'm one of those people, if I'm cooking and I'm using corn, like canned corn, I grab a spoon, and once I'm done putting the corn in that recipe, I'm just eating corn out of the can.
Robbie,
So,
is there a corn cob in your butt right now?
I'm going to plead the fifth on that one, brother.
All right.
Because I'll be honest, I think that was a pretty corny question.
Hey.
No, I do. The bursting of corn does not bother me. I love corn.
Robbie loves corn.
It's a problem. I'm not kidding. I'm like that kid who sang about corn, or not, he didn't sing about corn, but that kid who loved corn.
Oh shit, you remember that? Yeah.
I agree with him. I am a corn fiend.
It's corn. Good stuff.
I eat corn way too much. I love corn.
I mean,
Not
corn
the
on the
band.
cob.
I've never really listened to the band.
Yeah, they got that one song I'm into.
But corn on the cob is awesome.
Yeah, corn on the cob with like butter. And you ever have a elote corn?
Is that the different colored corn?
No, it's like street Mexican street food.
I don't like the cheese that's on it. They always put like a cheese on it, and I'm not a cheese guy.
Not a cheese guy.
I'm not a cheese guy. I don't, especially, and people, I always say that, and people are like, oh, you just don't like them as soon as you eat American cheese. I go, no, because American cheese is the worst. I'll enjoy a slice of cheddar on a cheeseburger.
Yeah, cheddar's good. Cheddar's good on other things. I don't think it's good alone.
But like, and like I'll eat cheese, but like you getting the blue cheese or like crumbled cheese freaks me out. Like I don't like feta.
I like feta, but I'm Greek. I have to.
That's the law.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm just not a cheese guy.
Robbie's not a cheese guy, but he is a corn guy.
When they were like, oh, with cojita cheese, I'm like, leave that shit off of it.
What is cojita?
That's the cheese.
That's the cheese.
That's the type of cheese they use.
Oh, on elote?
Yeah, cojita cheese. Cojita. I think that's how it's spelled or pronounced. I could be butchering the pronunciation because it's a Spanish word.
I'm a big fan of Hideo Kojita cheese.
Very good.
The Metal Gear Solid series.
Yeah, I like that. I like that one.
Thanks.
Do you think does he have his own cheese other than Dick?
What are you trying to say here?
Dick cheese. Schmegma.
Let's move on.
My dog gets that a lot.
Okay.
And I actually asked the vet. I was like, yo, is that a problem? And she goes, no, that's just his schmegma. Gotta whop it off every now and then. I don't know why all of a sudden I gave my vet a British accent.
Yes.
But I was like, oh, that's the scientific term for it, huh? Schmegma. Cool.
Yeah, expand name. Schmegma.
Nope.
Okay. The Schmegma Review Podcast.
the schmegma sessions. We get some exposition as I really like the mouse and the soot balls reenacting what just happened between Sen and the slug while Kamaji is just spitting out exposition. So at this point, I have no idea what he's saying because I'm just watching the mouse and stuff.
Yeah, it's very good. It's very, very good. I like how also he fishes out the ticket and he's like, I've been saving this for 40 years.
Yeah.
So you're just going to give it to Sen? What a kind freak that this guy is.
But apparently he has multiple tickets, so he could have just left with them, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. Also, I guess No Face didn't need a ticket.
I think they had enough tickets for all of them.
Oh, okay.
Because I think there were like 4 tickets on there.
So he takes the 2 new characters who were just following them around.
Right. But it's also like, why does the bird and the mouse need a ticket?
Yeah.
Like this conductor doesn't know that it's. First of all, the bird is not a person, so Birdba could have just gotten on the train regardless as a pet. And when you have a baby that young, I mean, yeah, this is a huge fucking baby, but like, you don't need to get a train ticket for a baby.
Yeah, but he's also a mouse at this point.
Exactly. I don't understand. This movie sucks.
Well, I also like how Lynn comes in. She's like, yo, your boy No Face is fucking tearing it up over there. You got to take care of that before you go. And she's like, all right, I got it.
They send her in. I do like the frog being like, is this going to work? And Yubaba's like, why? Do you want to take her place? She's like, no, you're fine. Yeah. You're fine.
It was good, though. And like, you could see Yubaba, at least I thought, genuinely actually cares for Sen.
Yes. I think we're seeing there's no like truly evil people in this.
Right. And that's because it's well written. And like in anything well written, nobody's just like, I'm evil. Like nobody's like that. There's always more to those people, you know?
Well, yeah, that's why we always see so many like cliche characters who just say shit like, women can't play sports.
Right.
Like, that's your bad guy.
Well, that's bad writing. The meeting with her and No Face is pretty cool. It's pretty spooky.
It is spooky. He's huge and creepy. And Sen gives No Face that like save medicine ball that she had given to Haku. And she's like, I think you need this more than I do.
Yeah. I liked how earlier, like way earlier, she took a bite out of it and she was like,
yeah. No Face starts vomiting up everything, and I really liked when he looks at her and goes, what did you do to me?
Yeah, I like that too. And then he fucking like beelines it for her. I was like, damn.
Yes. And he is chasing her all around. He's vomiting everywhere.
Yeah.
He spits out the 2 of the people that he's eaten. And then Lynn picks up Sen, and she's going to give her a ride on the boat. And she's like, oh, No Face, come with us. And Lynn's like, what are you doing?
Yeah. And that's when she says, like, I think being in the bathhouse makes him crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then he spits the frog out in the water, which is nice.
Yeah.
And he wakes up, he's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. To be honest, if I was thrown up by a creature, I'd like to land in the water. So I'm just like, a little cleaner,
I get that. No, I could totally understand that. I really liked when No Face spits out the first 2 people. We get the line from John Ratzenberg's character. He says something like, now that's an esophagus or something like that.
Yeah.
Sen and the crew ride to the train. First of all, the spirits on the train look really cool. Like all these just dark spirits.
Yeah, that was cool. I also, before, like when Lynn lets them off the boat.
Yeah.
And they're walking the track, I like how Lynn takes back calling her a dope.
Right, yeah, she apologizes to her.
That was just such a nice touch. Like, hey, I'm sorry I did that. I like you now. It was good stuff.
I like the visuals of all the spirits getting off at one station. And I also really like, there's some CG here too, as the train's going by, and we get the visuals.
Yeah, of like all the places they're passing. We get, one of them looked like Kame House from Dragon Ball. A little island with just a house and a tree on it.
Is that where Master Roshi lives?
Yeah, it is. Look at you, Robbie.
Look at me. A little pervert.
Look at Robbie. Well, yeah, he is a pervert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I was talking about me.
Oh,
We're at the bathhouse. Haku comes too. Apparently, pure love has broken the spell.
yeah.
Yubaba is ready to cook up Sen's parents and make them into bacon. When Haku comes in and tells Yubaba that something of hers has been replaced, that's when she realizes that the green heads, that the baby,
Yeah.
that she thinks of the baby, are the green heads. And then all the gold turns into dirt, and one of them just goes, "It's just dirt!"
Yeah. I did like how the heads, like when they turn back, they're like, "Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit," because
Yeah.
they were just eating, and they were like, "Yeah, this is the good life, baby."
I like the visual when Yubaba looks at the giant baby, and all of a sudden the baby has the face of one of the heads and has
Yeah,
the mustache and
yeah,
everything.
that was good stuff.
Haku tells Yubaba he'll help her get the baby back if she tears up Sen's contract and releases her and her family. She's like, but she'll still have to pass one test. And it's like, why do I have to make that deal? Why?
Yeah,
But fine. Haku, for some reason, just agrees to that.
yeah. And again, I thought that that test was going to be like, what's your real name?" And I was like, "Oh well, Haku gave her that card that has her real name on it." But I was wrong. I was
No,
wrong.
I knew exactly because before Haku was like, remember exactly which of these pigs are your parents.
Yeah.
I
And
was
to be
like,
honest, I would not be able to tell. They all
oh,
look
me
the same.
neither. I wouldn't. No. Sen and the gang arrive at Swamp Bottom. That's what I get when I'm sitting on this chair for too long. They arrive at Zaniba's very humble looking cottage. Sen returns the seal and apologizes. And then the baby and Uberba just don't want to change back to normal for some
Yeah,
reason.
yeah. They're just like, that would be inconvenient and
Zaniba's
harder to
like,
animate.
yeah, Zaniba's like, that spell wore off. You can change it anytime. Like, no, we're doing this of our own volition.
Yeah. I liked how like she was just like, yeah, no, I'm a good guy, actually. And your boy wasn't sick because he took my thing. Your boy's sick because Yubaba has that fucking spell on him.
Yes.
But then like you killed the slug, that was the spell. Like he's free now.
Zaniba's laugh here is great with the giant teeth, and it's like really close up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good.
Because that's when they learned that the slug, like you said, was the spell that Yubaba had put on Haku.
Yeah.
We see Zaniba ask Sen to call her granny, and then we see her, the mouse, the bird, and No Face all knitting together, and she's like, "No Face, when did you learn how to
Yeah.
knit?" I also really love the visual of the mouse and the bird on the wheel, and they'd stop every few seconds
Yeah,
and pant,
yeah.
and then they just get right back to it.
Great stuff.
They all make Sen a hair tie that is designed to protect her. That's when we get Haku showing up. They go on and on about how Sen and Haku are in love, so I had to look it up because she's 10 and Haku is clearly older.
Haku's like thousands of years old.
He's
I'd
12.
assume. He's 12.
Yeah, and you know what? I'll give that a pass.
I thought he was like a billion because he's a river.
No, I looked it up, and apparently he's 12 years old, and Lynn is
Well,
16.
I wasn't thinking that they were like they had a romantic love. I was
Oh,
thinking
that
it was
makes
like
sense.
it was just like, I love this person. Like it's not like I'm not in love with them. Like I love this person.
I still needed to make sure that it wasn't a weird thing.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't a grooming
Yeah.
situation. And I can't call a 12-year-old a groomer. It's just in bad faith.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's a big dragon,
Yep.
and he's like, "Hop on, brother."
Yeah, and he just flies her back. That's when, out of nowhere, she's like, "Oh, I think I know what your name is. I think it's Kohaku River." Because I dropped my
Yeah.
shoe in a river. I almost drowned in a river one time, and I was brought to safety. And she's like, "Oh, I am the Kohaku River." I was like, "All right, you know what?"
I really liked how like she says it, and he's just like, "What?" Like he like disintegrates back into a human form, and like it all hit him at once.
Yeah.
And this scene, like, I agree that it's a little weird. Like, oh, by the way,
Yeah.
that's kind of weird. But what follows is maybe the most beautiful scene in the movie.
It's so good when they're like falling and they're just
Yeah.
talking. Oh my
The
God.
music is swelling. The tears are like flying up because they're falling.
Yeah, they're
And like
plummeting from a great
their
distance.
hair and their clothes are like whipping in the wind. I was like, damn, the music again, swelling. And then like he's like, oh, I remember now. I'm a river spirit, and you know, I'm great now. And she's like, well, they're all apartments now. And he's like, that's all right. I'll be back.
Yeah.
I'm
Well, that's why
fucking
he can't.
nature.
Well, that's why he says he can't find his way home because
Right.
the river's not there anymore.
Right. Right. But he is still optimistic. He's like, I'll be back in one form or another.
Yeah,
Because nature always wins.
it really does.
Yeah.
Man versus nature, the road to victory. He's still able to fly, though, so they fly back. Yubaba tells Sen she's gonna give her the final test, and everyone jeers her.
Yeah.
Boo! And then I really like this that the baby now stands up for Sen. The baby's like, Sen and I had a good time, and if you make Sen cry, I won't like you anymore.
Yeah. And that's the most terrifying thing to you, Baba. She's like, what? No,
Yeah.
my baby.
So then we get the test, and she has to tell which of the pigs is her mom and dad. But it's a trick. None of the pigs are her mom and dad, and she got it right. I like they all transform back into the workers, and they're like,
Yeah.
ha!
But they also cheered. They're like, yeah, you got it right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they didn't want her to fuck up. I like that.
Haku brings Sen to the river. It's all dry now, and he goes, hey, right on the other side, you'll find your mommy and daddy. The family walks back through the tunnel. Apparently, a bunch of time has passed because the car is all dirty and dusty.
Yeah, that was cool.
The family drive off, I'm assuming at 100 miles an hour based on the father's driving before. Yeah. And I like this that now Chihiro says, like, I can handle my new home in school. I'll be totally fine.
Yeah, like she did a lot of growing up in her, what was it, 2-day journey? 2 days,
Yes.
3 days?
Well,
Yeah.
they never established that. That's why they get back and the car's all dirty and stuff. It's like, how much time has passed here?
Yeah. And they even say like, oh, it's dusty on the inside.
Yeah, like she got to get to school and be like, wait a second, what year is this?
It's been 40 years. Well, I mean, it's it's a lot of this movie's a lot of things. It's like you got to grow up, so cuz like she's really whiny in the beginning, and then at the end she's like, I got this. There's the environmental kind of thing they're doing with the muck and the river spirits and all that. And then, like I said, there's a big cultural thing going on. Like, I took notes.
That's nice. It's nice that you took notes.
Yeah. Okay, so her parents turn into pigs after consuming more than they need. And right before that, her dad is like, I got credit cards, baby. It ain't no problem. And it's like, also everybody going nuts over the gold, right? It's just like greed. It's like, don't be greedy.
Punishing greed, yeah.
Right. And most importantly, I think, is Yubaba took their names, and she's very much driven by profit. So in a capitalist society, you have no identity, is what I got out of that, is what they're saying.
When I was teaching, they always used to go on this big thing about how names are important. Or isn't your name important to you? And it was always hard to be like, no, my name means absolutely nothing to me.
So here's something. I had a similar mindset, but in my first year of teaching, I got a kind of a weird last name to pronounce. It's Jefferis, but a lot of people say Jeffries, all that. Or so my first year of teaching, I was like, Mr. Jefferis, you could call me Mr. J, or Mr. Jeff, whatever's easier.
Right.
And before I knew it, my name was Mr. Jefferson.
Okay.
I was like, whatever. And another teacher told me, like, well, we kind of want to teach the kids that their name is important too, right? So maybe you should, think about, your name and like actually tell them what you want to be called. And I was like, shit, that's a good point. So the next year, I was like, my name is Mr. Jafaris. You could call me Mr. Jafaris or Mr. J. That is it. And I put up a picture of a Ferris wheel, and I was like, it's Ferris, like Ferris wheel. And then the next day, this kid raised, hey, Mr. Jafaris wheel. I was like, oh boy.
Hey, you know what? You knew that was happening.
I didn't. I did not see that coming, but I thought it was hilarious. But I think there is importance in your name. It is very important for most people, to be called the right name. It's your identity.
When I was teaching, even the staff, half the staff, you know what they would call me? In front of students, they'd go, all right, Mr. White, why don't you tell us the answer? Because they'd confuse me with the other white teacher in the school. Whose name just happened to be Mr. White. He was red. He had red hair.
I was also confused with another white teacher.
So I would sit there going, so I have to care about their names, but the fucking teachers don't even have to care about my name.
Right. So I think we had opposite experiences.
I'll never forget one time one of the teachers called me Mr. White, and one of the students stood up and said, yo, that's mad racist.
Yeah.
And I had to calm the situation. I was like, it's okay. It was a mistake.
But especially as a kid, your identity is your name, and it's important,
I guess.
But in a society that is driven by profit, it seems this is what the movie is saying to me. This is what I'm pulling out of the movie. Is your identity means jack shit when you're just another worker, There's that. Also, No Face goes crazy. He's eating people when he's in the bathhouse. He consumes others in a capitalist society because that's how you get by, at the misfortune of others, because there's only so much wealth that can go around. And if you're taking all of it, other people are suffering, right? And then, but once he goes to Granny's, who's a traditional, who is of traditional Japanese values, he's good, right? He's comfortable. He's knitting. He even learned how to knit, Robbie.
Seems like he had known how to knit, though.
I guess. We don't really know his story.
Because Zaniba's like surprised he's so good at it. It's not like we saw a montage of her teaching him how to knit.
It's true. But yeah, I just think this is a profound movie that has a lot to say and is also beautiful and fun.
I agree.
Shan't we Letterboxd?
I'm already there. And brother, let me tell you something. Number one, I would put this movie up against any Golden Age Disney movie.
I think this is better.
I would agree. That's why I said I would put it up against. I would say, out of every animated film we've done, the only thing that really comes close to this is Toy Story and Toy Story 2. The other animated films we have done for this podcast, that's Shrek, that's The Little Mermaid.
Wreck-It Ralph.
Wreck-It Ralph. I don't think they hold a candle to this movie.
They're very different. I would say Toy Story and Toy Story. I mean, all three Toy Stories make me tremble in my nethers.
I think I've said this before. Toy Story 3, I think is good. I don't think it's good as the first two.
I think Toy Story 1, 2, and 3 are all excellent.
And Toy Story 4 is fine, and I don't want to see Toy Story 5.
I think I mean, for Toy Story 5, we'll definitely do Toy Story 4.
Yeah, probably.
And I think
I don't want to do a hot and fresh for it, though, because I do not want to go see it in theaters.
All right. That's fine. I mean, well, we'll just do it when they do a Toy Story 6. We'll do Toy Story 5. But I wouldn't even compare this is on a whole nother level. It is a very different movie. This is a 5 out of 5 for me.
Yeah, no, I've already put 5 stars. I wasn't even debating it. I had already put 5.
Yeah, this is the creme of the crap.
This is really good, and it made me want to go back and watch every Studio Ghibli film.
Yeah, I think we should definitely do that. Maybe do a Ghibli month or something.
Yeah, start off with My Neighbor Totoro. I think that was the first one.
Is it?
I think so. Well, trust me, I already have a great parody for that one. My Neighbor Totoro. You know?
Nice.
Yeah. I sang that to Laura, and she goes, "I don't get it." I was like, "Oh, you don't know the song My Woman from Tokyo?"
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. How about what was the Princess Mononoke? Isn't that the first one?
Oh,
I
maybe I have
could be
no
wrong.
idea.
I don't know.
I just looked. You know what we could do? You know what's
There's
amazing?
no way, Robbie. There is literally no way you could do this. It's just impossible.
Here we go.
Everybody's come to terms with it.
Okay, Studio Ghibli movies. Good thing I spelled the word movies wrong. Apparently, I spelled it with two e's.
That's wrong.
Yeah, apparently
Uh-oh.
it is. All right. By all Studio Ghibli movies ranked by the tomato meter. I tried to do it as a one. Okay, The Tale of Princess Kaguya. Is that what you just said?
No, I said Princess Mononoke.
Oh, I just heard the word princess. As I butchered. All right, there we go. Studio Ghibli. 1988 was My Neighbor Totoro, and Princess Mononoke was 1997. You're bad at math.
Oh shit. I don't know why I thought that came first. Damn. What about wait, you said 87, 88?
My Neighbor Totoro was 88.
Okay. And there's nothing before that?
I think that was the year Studio Ghibli was founded.
Okay, makes sense.
Let me see.
You know,
I'm on Wikipedia now. I don't know if you know it.
My Neighbor Totoro he makes appearances in Toy Story 3. I think he's one of
That's the big creature, right?
the big fluffy guy. Looks like a big bunny. Yeah.
Yeah, they all look like big creatures to me.
Yeah, he's in the girl who replaces Andy. She's got a plushie of Totoro.
What is her name?
That's his name.
Starts with a B, doesn't it? Bonnie.
Bonnie. My Bonnie lies over the ocean.
You don't need to do that.
My body lays over the
Okay. So apparently it was Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, Castle in the Sky, and then My Neighbor Totoro.
Oh shit. What about Howl's Moving Castle?
Howl's Moving Castle is 2004.
Huh. What about Ponyo?
2008.
Huh.
I remember when Ponyo came out, my first thought was, what the fuck is that? Mainly because I was an uncultured American.
I remember that was the first one that they advertised on like Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network and stuff.
Matt Damon's in it.
Huh.
I remember that was like a big deal. That like, yo, Matt Damon does a voice in this.
Wow.
And it's like, everyone's like, oh, fuck. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this cast is nuts because it has Tina Fey, Matt Damon, Kate Blanchett, Liam Neeson.
I think I was in that one too.
You were in this. You were in Ponyo.
Yeah.
I don't believe you. You know what? I'm going to call bullshit.
I played Ponyo.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
So you are Noah Cyrus.
Nah, that's a misprint.
Oh, it's a misprint.
Me.
Okay.
Yeah, that was me.
Very good. Okay. Well, Andy, guess what?
What?
I have 4 trivias.
I have 3.
I'll go first. Yo, finish this line. Don't worry. Daddy's here. He's got his checkbook and debit card, credit cards and cash, cash and checks, that paper.
I think it's credit cards and cash, baby.
It is credit cards and cash. And he says it like it was credit cards and cash.
Yeah. What did actress Yasuko Sawaguchi
How the fuck am I going to know this? How am I possibly going to know this?
Just listen. What did actress Yasuko Sawaguchi eat while voicing Chihiro's mother while she was eating? Does that make sense? So in the scene where she's eating.
So the actress is eating something.
Yes. What was she eating in the studio? Was it an apple, a dumpling, KFC, or a Big Mac?
A dumpling.
No.
KFC.
Yes.
Oh. Another thing in the Japanese version that I don't think they had in the English version, or at least I didn't catch it, was when they sit down to eat, the mom goes, "What kind of bird is this?" And this just immediately chomps into it.
You know, anime food always looks like incredible.
I don't know. One of them was just a giant dead fish, like an angler fish, and I was like, I'm good on that.
Yeah, but like the cooked food, like the cooked birds, that shit look good.
Yeah.
I was like, damn.
What color is the tea kettle that Kamaji drinks from? Blue, red, green, or yellow?
Yellow.
It is yellow.
Yeah. What did actress Lauren Holly eat for the same scene in the English dub? Was it an apple, a dumpling, KFC, or a Big Mac?
KFC.
No.
Big Mac.
No.
A dumpling.
No.
An apple.
Yes.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
Questions.
That's rude.
That's fucking.
That's rude.
Yeah, maybe it is. What type of tokens does Lynn send Sen to go get? Earthy soak tokens, worm bath tokens, herbal soak tokens, cold soak tokens.
I think it's earthy soak.
It is not earthy soak.
Huh. What was the second one?
Worm bath tokens.
Is it that one?
No, it is not worm bath tokens.
Huh. Herbal soak.
Yeah, it's the herbal soak tokens.
That's a stupid fucking question. How's that, Robbie?
I mean, it's from the movie.
It's from the movie. What famous artist has a song called Chihiro? Is it Lady Gaga, William Eyelash? It's Billie Eilish.
Yeah, nice.
Olivia Rodrigo, or Dave Chappelle Roan?
I'm gonna say Olivia Newton-John.
That wasn't a choice, Robbie.
Olivia Rodrigo.
It is not.
Chappell Roan.
No.
One of the other two.
Yeah, it's Billie Eilish.
Oh, cool.
William herself.
What train stop is Swamp Bottom?
The 6th.
It is the 6th stop, yeah.
Hell yeah, brother. I've been there.
You've been to Swamp Bottom.
Yeah. Me and Granny chilling all the time.
You getting it wet?
Nah, dude.
Pussy.
Nah, dude. It's because she's a weird creature. She don't even have.
How would they have babies? They've given birth to that giant baby. Yo, yeah,
you know
I don't
that for a
need to say
fact?
that.
You know that for a fact?
Yubaba has a baby.
Yeah. Do you know that she gave birth to it? I mean,
You think the spirits are adopting giant babies like that? Look at that freak. That's the freak only a mother could love.
they're all freaks, dude. The big radish with radish nipples.
Yeah, but we don't need his parents. I'd imagine his parents are radish nipple boys.
Do spirits have parents?
You have to be born somehow. What do you think? They just appear?
I don't know, man.
I wrote a song.
Me too.
I also have a pick to flip.
Yo, flip that shit then.
No, Andy, do me a favor. You have to call this, though.
Tails.
It is Tails.
I win again, Robbie.
Very good. You're such a good winner.
I was very inspired by the soundtrack, the score, that is. And I have like a very airy type song.
Okay.
What do you got going on?
Just pretty much basic rock and roll song. Nothing
All right,
crazy.
You go first. You go first.
My song is called Spirit of the River. And it's a rock and roll song. One thing I was doing is I was playing around on the MIDI and the different settings, and there was a setting on GarageBand called World Instruments. And so I was Googling, I was like, oh, this one, according to Google, is a Japanese instrument. And maybe it's a pipa? I don't remember exactly which one it is. So if it's not a Japanese instrument, you could blame Google for me being wrong, okay? Because while I'm ignorant, I tried.
Okay.
So anyway, my song is called Spirit of the River. It is about the movie Spirited Away. And I'm going to be honest, it's actually just a parody of Jethro Tull's Skating Away. I'm just going, Spirited Away.
Nice.
How mad would you be if that's what this was?
I wouldn't be mad, to be honest.
fair.
I'd just be like,
Fair.
all right, good one.
What a waste of time.
Yeah.
All right, here's my song. It's called Spirit of the River, and it goes like this.
Everything is strange, cause life is about change. That's how it goes. I'm just someone's daughter, looking for some water in a place I don't know. A world after death, so I hold my breath. I'm looking for work, looking for my parents and your reassurance. I see your smirk. Forget that's what they get. Working out a deal for a name to steal as you smoke your cigarette. Judging by the smell, I might be in hell. Let's get him a bath. Pulling out a thorn, I am reborn. There's gold for the staff. Forget your name and you'll be gone. You'll be lost forever. I've been cursed for way too long. Dried spirit of the river. There's always a punishment for being kind. All these creatures all in my mind. Identify the pigs, that baby's so big. He wants to play. One final test while the spirits are at rest, or you will pay. You bit off your dead, you're a face I can't forget. Let's get you home. Things have gotten strange, cause life is about change. I can handle it all on my own. Forget your name and you'll be gone. You'll be lost forever. I've been cursed for way too long. Dried spirit of the river.
That was my song called Spirit of the River.
Very nice.
Thank you. And yeah, it's just about Chihiro and her little adventure.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
Andy.
like the chorus.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, little bit of a bop, little peppy chorus.
Hmm.
Andy, tell us about your song.
My song is called I Remember.
Was it about the
And-
Alamo?
Yep.
Andy, we were supposed to write songs about Spirited Away.
Shit.
What have you done? What have you done, my son?
I watched the movie The Alamo.
Okay. Well, I can't wait to hear this.
My school took a trip to see that in theaters. You remember that?
Vaguely, yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember anything about it. Must not have been that good.
Oh, probably not.
I used this pedal that I just got from a local music store, Small's Music Shop. If you're in the Delaware area, check it out. Check out my song. It's called I Remember, and it goes like this.
There's more to
So that's my song. It's called I Remember.
That pedal sounds good.
Thank you. I wrote it about, it's mostly about, how she's taking your name and, when you remember, it's a big epiphany when he remembers who he is.
A spliffany. He's like, yo, smoke this.
Nice. But yeah, it's, I blew up my O-ring singing that. So.
You didn't need to do that.
It was hard. I fucking had to fucking squeeze my balls in a vice.
What a man, what a man, what a man, what a mighty good man.
What a mighty, mighty good man. Yeah, I used my new guitar, my T60. Everybody's talking about it.
Just everyone's coming up to me on the street going, yo, you hear Andy's new guitar? I go, I have.
Yeah, it's a T60, I believe. It's from 1977, I believe.
Then why is it called the T60? Why is it from 1960? Shouldn't it be called the T77? This is ridiculous, Andy.
I don't know.
Get them on the phone.
Yeah, so yeah, it's just about that. And it was a weird chord progression to improvise a solo over because it's very chromatic. Goes from like D to C sharp.
Everything's chrome.
Yeah, D, C sharp, C, B, and back again. So it was like, it's kind of weird to solo over that. So I had a little bit of a hard time, but you know what? You make the best of what you got,
That's true, you do. You make the best with what you got.
Yeah. Using like major 7 chords and just cool guy chords, Yeah, just inspired by that airy, mystical, whimsical score that they had. I really like that. Really speaks to the tone of the movie. And that's what I tried to emulate. Robbie, what do we got going on next week?
That's a terrible question.
Why is that?
Because we're doing Joker next week. Because you're getting ready for Joker, Folie-à-Deux. Joker, the 3 Faces of Foley. But we're doing Joker.
I've seen it. I saw it in theaters when it came out and wasn't a huge fan.
I didn't see it in theaters. I saw it on my couch, and I wasn't a huge fan.
Yeah, it's just kind of like a sad guy dancing.
I mean, that's probably the nicest way to put it.
It seems like a lot of it was like, let's just film Joaquin. See what he does.
Listen, he is objectively good in it. It's just, you know what? We'll talk about it next week.
Yeah, that makes sense that we do that.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you about the music and where you can find it.
Tell me where we could find the music.
You go to the Spotify, you go to Apple Music, you go to Deezer, wherever you get your music, and you type in the Royds.
You go to Bread Tunes.
If that's your choice, you search the Royds. Blapzoid. You search the Royds, you'll find a lot of songs about movies and otherwise. But then you go to TheRoyds.bandcamp.com and you will find well over 200 songs, including guest songs, bonus songs, and all the songs from the podcast. Yeah, and that's pretty cool. Robbie.
Yes, it is pretty cool.
Robbie, the socials.
You go to Instagram, you go to TikTok, you go to YouTube, you type in TheRoydsBand. There we are. You can see our pretty little faces sometimes, but we're also just promoting this podcast. You can listen to the podcast on YouTube at The Royds Review Podcast. Wherever you are listening to this podcast, give us a 5-star rating and review. It really helps us out. And if you want to tell us anything, you could also send us an email, roydsreview@gmail.com. We love to hear from you.
Yeah.
Have we? Did we tell them to tell their friends? Did we do that?
Yeah, tell your friends.
Tell your friends.
Word of mouth. Word of mouth is a big help for us. Thank you so much for listening.
Word of a baby that's been turned into a mouse.
Yeah.
It ties into the movie we just talked about for the last 2 hours. Spirited
Away.
Away.
Yeah. Have you ever seen Spirited Away? If we just
I
start
have.
over.
I've seen it 3 times this week.
We just started this whole thing over. Right at the end.
I mean, another spirited discussion about Spirited Away.
Wow.
I almost opened up with my rhyme of, this week we're talking about Spirited Away. Andy, you are gay. But I opted not to do that.
Oh, man, that would have been good.
Yeah, so I saved it for the end. So this way, that's not the first thing people hear when they tune in.
Yeah, it's less listeners, I feel like,
Yeah, I mean, by this point, they're like, all right, we get it, Rob. You're an asshole.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I'm spurted away. It's like spurt. You know what I'm saying?
Nope. I don't.
Squirt. Little squirt.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
get you now. I get you.
Yeah.
All right, well, next week, Joker.
Yeah, check that out.
Goodbye on the fly. I don't know. Goodbye, everybody.
What did I say was my sign off?
No, I can't say it.
I'll see you later.
There we go.
What an idiot.